Hi guys, this is Ruslan, and you are listening to the Snotbear podcast. This is the seventh episode of the Snotbear sessions, and today we have none other than Pragata Naoha with us. So, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. Yeah, just barely alive at this point.
Or why are you so stressed?
It's just uni and
And
COVID.
life in general,
Yeah,
আশেপাশে
just
যা
life
হচ্ছে,
in
yeah,
general.
everything.
It's not a
Yeah,
good environment anymore.
yeah, yeah. So, how is music going on?
Um, Surprisingly, it hasn't come to a stop. Um, uh, I guess
Yeah.
we're still all trying our best to do projects as much as possible. So yeah, still happening.
All right. So I want to start by asking you this question, Jay. হচ্ছে গিয়ে, in the scene that we see, in the scene that we are, it is actually এখানে there are a lot of male musicians that we see around us.
Oh
ঠিক
yeah.
আছে?
Hmm.
It's most of us are male musicians who are doing this and that. For you to come and make a place for yourself, was it hard from your point of view to make a name for yourself and to do shows on with মানে নিজে থেকে নিজেই এক guitar নিয়ে you're performing alone? Was it hard for you in the beginning? What
Uh,
challenges?
No, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say that because um, my inception to the scene had nothing to
Yeah,
do with my realization that I was the only girl at that time doing this, right?
yeah.
আমার আশেপাশে দেখে একবারও মনে হয় নাই যে ও এতগুলা ছেলে এই সিনে
তোমার
আমি কি
তোমার
করব,
স্টার্টটা
রাইট?
স্টার্টটা কিভাবে হয়েছে? How did you
স্টার্টটা
how did you
হচ্ছে
get into music?
রেডিও স্বাধীন এর থ্রুতে হয়েছে।
আচ্ছা।
Someone, I think Piapu, right? Piapu from Shadhin found me and my cover of Creep, and she was like, "Yo, so we have this show called Practice Bad. Do you wanna perform there?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, that sounds amazing."
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ,
So
হ্যাঁ,
after that, I did that, and then a bunch of other radio stations just called me,
হুম।
and which are poor. Eventually, I moved on to performing on stage. So yeah, I wasn't I didn't have that mentality that
That আশেপাশে এত ছেলে যে
chile,
how
yeah.
am I gonna cope up with
Yeah,
it
I
and all.
mean the gender role thing never really
Didn't
occurred to
happen.
me in the first place.
All right. So you also play the guitar
Yeah.
along with singing. Yeah. So how did that come along? Because most female singers I mean I'm Johnny, I'm
Mm.
unaware. I might be unaware of some of them, but most of them do not use a guitar while singing.
Right.
They have their own musicians, they have their own band. So do you have your own band, but mostly when you are singing, when you are performing alone, you are playing the guitar yourself. So how did that come along? Was it
Um
always like this যে প্রথম থেকে গিটার দিয়ে বাজানো শুরু করছিলা? Was it always like this, or
yeah.
did it develop আস্তে আস্তে you thought যে I should do it, আমারটা
Uh
নিজেরটা নিজে করা উচিত?
right. I grew up with this very punk rock background, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
um playing the guitar was always a dream of mine, right? So when I was
yeah,
14, I think that's when
yeah,
I just got to it. তারপর তখন থেকে ভালো করে মানে শিখা শুরু করছি।
yeah,
So I always wanted to be able to lead myself with an instrument.
yeah,
So I mean, clearly some songs need backup, right? Some
yeah.
performances need a
Needs
grand
backup. Yeah,
arrangement, sure, but I like to take pride in the fact that I can lead a crowd with just
yeah.
my guitar. And yeah,
And tell us a bit more about your band, ladies.
my band, yes, of course. So
Yeah,
we are an alt rock, prog rock band. We started in 2019, so it's barely been 2 years that we
yeah.
were doing
And
this.
you don't play the guitar there, you just sing.
Sometimes I do when it's
Occasionally.
completely necessary.
Yeah,
um, Otherwise, we have our lead guitarist Ishmam Ahmed.
yeah, yeah, I
The
know
reason
him.
why we haven't been doing shows is because literally most of our guitarists are out of the country or
Hmm.
unavailable. We're working on this current song of ours called Bedroom. So hopefully, if everything goes,
Which will be the debut track,
yeah,
I
it's
think.
yes, you're correct. It's going to be the debut of a Hades track. So if all goes
So
well, everyone's gonna love
yeah,
it.
yeah, man. So Hades debut track আসতেছে, okay, that's a very good thing. And
Yeah.
you also have your own thing going on.
Oh
You're
yeah.
releasing songs. I মানে আমি তোমার উপর আমি I did a bit of research because of course I have to do that. So I went to a SoundCloud page and there are a lot of songs. Tell me about those songs that you wrote. When did these happen? Because there are a lot of songs that you wrote and
Right.
that you uploaded.
Right.
So tell me about these. Tell me about your solo career. How did it? How? When did you think that you should do it solo and not with a band?
Um doing I mean having a solo career was it kind of just happened, right? The
Yeah,
band thing was more of a another dream of mine, right? I always wanted to front a hardcore band, right? And my members have been very generous
yeah,
in allowing that to happen. But my solo thing, I guess, is more of a representation of my feelings and stuff that I can't express, right? I mean, I have to
yeah.
let it
And
out
you mostly write to
somewhere.
your songs yourself. So
Yeah, yeah,
mostly
yeah.
to have পুরাটাই তো তোমার করা, because Kalo was probably mixed by you
Yeah, yeah, it
and it
was
was
mixed by
mastered
me.
by Raka.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a funny story too because যখন মানে পুরা ট্র্যাকটা শেষ করছি আমি জাস্ট
Where did
unmastered.
you guys record the track?
Oh no, no, I did it at my house with my mic and my
Oh,
guitar
great,
and
great.
everything. It was
Okay,
a
nice.
really small,
So you too have a
production.
bedroom studio.
You too, as
Like,
in.
yeah, as in আমারও আছে, so yeah.
Oh, you
And
have
I'm
right.
like,
I mean, yes.
yes.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So it was a
Yeah,
really small, production. পরে শেষ করার পর আমি জাস্ট রাকাতি দিছি শোনানোর জন্য যে মানে he's kind of like a guru, right? I mean,
yeah, of
so
course.
I was like, "Do you like it? What could I change?" Right? And then he gave me feedback, and literally 10 minutes later, right? Just 10 minutes later, he sends me a mastered file, and I'm like, "What the hell? I didn't ask you to, but thank you." So it just happened like that.
So,
Just
and that was the final
yeah,
file
yeah. That
written.
was the final. तो तुम यही
Was
लिखो.
it was it basically firstly written for the movie? It was a part of a movie, right?
Yeah, it was a part of a short film, right?
Short film.
Yeah.
Was it originally written for the film, or did you write it for
Oh
yourself?
yeah, it was for the film. My cousin, who's the director,
Yeah.
she just
She's
gave
also
me.
she also directed a video of ours, which we didn't put
Oh,
it out yet.
right, correct, yes.
Yeah,
She's a director for the film and Kalo, so
yeah,
she came to me with the idea of Jewel, and
yeah.
she was like, I need a song. Can you just do it to me? 1 second. Can we?
So yeah, so what happened with Carlo after that?
Yeah, so she just wanted a song ready.
She wanted you to
Actually,
do the song.
yeah. She just came to me and she was like, "Bro, just write a song for me, right?"
Yeah,
And then I was like, "Just give me some context, give me some ideas on what to base it on and everything." And then she just gave me the whole um basic idea of Jewel
yeah,
and what she wants
yeah,
and everything. And then after she heard the song, she was like, "Bro, we have to make this into a music video, right?"
yeah,
And then initially it was just a promotion campaign for Jewel for the
yeah,
fundraiser and everything,
yeah.
because none of us expected Carlo to, just blow up like this,
Yeah.
right?
And it did blow
So
up, and it's a great song, man.
thank you.
It's a great
Thank
song.
you very
So,
much.
Mane, I wanted to ask about post Kalo, because Kalo was a big hit, and
Yeah,
people who didn't know you apparently, Jara,
yeah,
চিনতো না তোমাকে, very a very less amount of people, because everyone knows you. So যারা চিনতো না তোমাকে, they know you from Kalo. So
yeah.
it was. So tell me about that. How was the reception, and how did everything after that release? পরে how was the approach? মানে মানুষজন কিভাবে এটাকে ইয়া করছে? How do you think
Right.
people reacted to that song?
Um. Well, I would say I mean 99% of everything I heard about Carlo was very wholesome,
Yeah,
and it felt like everyone received it really well, right? And most of the people who claimed to be my fans,
Yeah,
um, they actually dug around
yeah,
themselves
yeah.
to try and find more of my stuff, which was what
And
surprised me
Carlos
the
tab is
most.
also in Ultimate Guitar, which is also a big thing, man.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Some dude just you figured out the tabs and just
Ah,
posted it there. So
it's
that
great.
was very flattering. So yeah, the reception was overwhelming to say the least, but it was also very eye opening because when you give good music
Yeah,
to the people of this country, right? They just hunt for more of that sort, if that makes sense, because mm right after Kalo's release, this
yeah,
other song that I had called Nakhoter Konna, that was
yeah.
also on YouTube,
It's a great song.
that blew up too. Like
Yeah.
that went from like 10K
And then
to
there was Labunno
200K,
that you
right?
released.
Right. That was
Yeah,
yeah, which is also on the works
yeah,
officially
yeah.
right now. So yeah,
So
reception was
no, no,
great.
I remember Kalo releaser pore. I was dating this girl, and then one day we were talking, and she was like, "Je, acha, there is this singer named Pragata Naoha, and there is this song called Kalo. Do you mane shunso ganta?" I'm like, "I fucking know her." Well, you know her? I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I know her," and that was a big moment for me, because nah, fuck, I know her. I know who she is. আমি ওর সাথে show করছি একটা, so yeah, it's a big thing. So
Nice.
yeah, Kalo
Yeah, yeah,
people
I
people
remember that too.
people loved Kalo. So what's your future plans? সামনে what's coming up from Pragata Naoha as an individual artist?
Well, I mean, everyone knows, I guess, that I'm
Is-
in a label right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, uh, I guess
Of,
we're trying
I
to
actually
work
don't know
on.
which label are you on.
Right, 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 right. So, I'm currently with Double Bass Productions.
All right.
So that's Shafin Ahmed's label.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so w- we're planning for an EP or an album.
Yeah.
So whatever floats the theme. I hope it's a concept album that's gonna come out soon. I'm working on Labono officially. Working on I think a few more songs with a few more
And
artists.
are you going to put out any of your old songs in the album, or is it going to be to
Oh yeah, absolutely. Old, new, everything that fits the concept.
so we are
I
gonna
am.
so you are going to re-record some of your songs from the SoundCloud feed.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, since you did your research, that's why you know about the
Yeah,
SoundCloud thing, right? But
yeah.
most people aren't even aware that I have more than four songs.
A lot of
S-
songs. A
Yeah,
lot of songs.
so I'm gonna take advantage of that and include my favorite tracks that I've ever written.
So, are most of the songs ki are you producing the songs or are you collabing with someone or how
Uh,
is the process going?
right. For the songs that are coming out through the label,
Mm,
the people from the label are producing them, right?
mm,
So they have an in-house producer, Rapi
of
Bhai, either
course.
him
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
Shafin Bhai himself.
yeah,
He's going to produce them. And for Labunno, I am currently getting that produced by Rakatami as well.
yeah. That's great. And anything else you are working on at this moment?
Well, there's a lot of stuff under the works that I can't really,
Yeah, yeah,
disclose
yeah,
because of contract
yeah, yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully, by next year, everyone's going to be very overwhelmed by the amount of content that I put
That,
out.
yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. And what is your take about this since the condition around the world is so bad at this moment? And for us musicians, it has been very hard because, live shows, Sharato, you cannot easily connect with the audience without live shows.
Yeah,
This is the main thing that you do. যে সামনাসামনি একটা audience না থাকলে তো there is no point to be honest with you.
right.
So, how hard do you think it is for you at this moment to reach out to your audience in this pandemic situation?
Um, well, I wasn't really a mainstream artist to begin with, right? So I never had shows where there would be like 10K, 20K people showing up, right? So I was always used to small crowds,
Yeah,
uh, and the largest crowd was probably what, like 1K, right?
yeah,
So connecting with people primarily I did it through the internet, right?
Yeah.
So everyone just assumed that I was gonna put out content,
Yeah.
day after
So was
day,
I.
and
So was I mean, I thought we were gonna get a lot of content from you during this
yeah.
pandemic, which didn't
So I
quite
mean,
happen.
that is what I'm trying, right? Even if it's not full-fledged music videos, I still try to put out demos,
Yeah, yeah,
lyric videos, stuff like that. And that's honestly what kept me going and my audience going.
yeah.
They just expected, just stuff that I wrote and produced to be put out, and that's exactly what I did. It's a pretty simple relationship that I have with my audience, and I'm really grateful for that. So it hasn't been that
That hard for you.
difficult.
So
Yeah.
how long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing this
I've been doing this for
music?
5 years now,
5 years now.
so
So being
2016.
being 5 years in comparison with many other musicians, 5 years is a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And within that short period of time, I think what you did is amazing. What you did is
Thank
really
you.
great. So how intimidating do you think that is for you to reach at this level at the with in such a short time?
Um, I wouldn't think this is intimidating at all because I am always my own worst critic, right?
Yeah.
So before I can reach a certain point in my career where I can just be like, hey, haha, suck it. You wish you were here, right? Before, I don't think I can ever
But are you
be
are
like
you not
that.
are you not already somewhat in that position where you can actually say that?
No, absolutely not. I don't
No.
think an artist can ever stop growing.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think it, as artists, right? I don't think you have the right
yeah.
to
To do
be
that.
that way,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I don't understand the whole perspective of people being so boisterous and, you know, with their head hung high. I mean, sure, self-confidence is good, attitude
yeah,
is
yeah,
good. I mean, we had Prince, we had Freddie Mercury, and
yeah,
all of these amazing names that were, infamous for their attitude and
yeah,
behavior, right?
yeah, yeah,
But they were also very humble, which
yeah.
is, I mean, that side of them you don't really see broadcasted, right? So I believe that uh, there's a very thin line between self confidence and just being a prick about it, right? So I would rather choose not to be one, and I would rather let my audiences find me instead of
But it's really
um.
hard to find you.
It is. It is.
It is really hard to find you. I know that. And it
Right.
is it is really hard to find you. So have you মানে তো you তোমার একটা collaboration ছিল with শান্ত ভাইয়া,
Right.
beat 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 Baksho. It downpour. It was a
Downpour.
it's a
Right.
great
Thank
track.
you.
Any do you have any plans on collaborating with any other artists in the future?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love collaborating. I mean, it's
You say
just
that
it's
and then you never
so
reply.
I it's
You say
I
that I
love
send you demos and
collaborating.
then you never replied.
I
I'm
love
gonna say it on the
collaborating when I have
I'm gonna say
time.
it on the podcast. I mean I keep on sending her demos. You don't even reply. That's like so that's really that's really sad. You know,
I
actually made me sad at one point. I'm like, fuck, what's happening?
I'm really sorry. I mean, thing is, when I did collaborate with all of those people before, I had a lot of time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's not that I don't want to now. It's just that I wish that I had some spare time to give
yeah.
to people.
So are you
So
busy with your personal life at this moment?
yeah, absolutely. Education always comes first, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
of
what
course.
I'm focusing on right now.
Yeah. So my question was any new artist that you actually want, new or old artist that you actually want to collab with in the
Oh
industry,
yeah,
any let it be anyone. Do you have in this country obviously?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It would firstly, on the top of my head, it would be Shanil Arnob, right,
Yeah,
or Atavists.
of course.
So
Of course.
yeah, and then
Great
uh,
guitarist.
amazing. He's
Amazing
literally
guitarist.
he's a literal god with the
Yeah,
guitar, right? I mean, I don't even know how
great,
what he does is even
guitar.
humanly possible.
Yeah,
So, and he's an amazing songwriter as well,
yeah,
which is why I want to collab, because just a sneak peek into his mind
yeah,
is mind blowing, right?
yeah.
So he's one. Damir is one.
Oh yes, I would
Um,
love to hear Pragata and Damir song.
Damir.
I was talking with Damir at Kodinake, and we were talking, and then at one point I was like, "Jay, do you want to do a song together?" And he was like, "Sure, man, send me stuff over." But then I was like so confused. So what do I send? What do I send? I need to send something good so that my first the impression যেন ঠিক মতো হয়. What do I send? এভাবে করে করে আমি আর ডিসাইডই করতে পারলাম না যে ওকে কি পাঠানো উচিত so that he might be convinced যে yeah, না we can work together. So Damir is next. Do you have anyone else?
uh, yeah, I have so many, man. It's what there's Suhad Bhai, there's Nemesis. I think I'm
But I would
already
love to see
collaborating
you.
with.
I would love to. Yeah, finish.
Yeah. Okay. So already kind of collaborating with Tashfi.
Hmm.
So
You were also in an upcoming album of Fuad Al Muqtadir.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
If everything goes according to plan,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I'll be collaborating with all of those lovely women
So
in
how
that
how
album as well.
how does when you're collaborating with someone, Jatumi, you have collaborated with few artists already. When you're collaborating with someone, how different is the process of songwriting? যখন তুমি নিজে করো, and when you are collaborating with someone, how different
Right.
is it? Or and do you think it's like you lose a bit of freedom because you want to do it in this way, and that the other person doesn't want to do it this way, and you think that you're losing a bit of freedom in your song, in your content?
Right. I think I mean, all the collaboration experiences that I've had so far, I would say that collaborating with someone else has and coming up with a song like that has been easier for me, because usually what happens is they send me this bass track and they just expect me to write lyrics and vocal lines on it, and I think that's so much easier because that's my exact songwriting process, right? I come up with something on the guitar,
Yeah,
and then I write lyrics and vocal
same,
lines,
same,
right?
same, same.
So it takes that it takes a lot of time to come up with a progression, right?
Yeah,
So when someone just sends me something that's pretty much ready, I'm just like, oh man, just give me 10 minutes, right?
yeah.
So that's usually what happens. I don't think I've faced any issue with artists where they were like, hey, I don't like this part,
Hmm.
can you just change that? Because
But would
probably
you change
because
that? But would you change that if you had to face in that situation? Would you change that?
oh yeah, absolutely. The
Even if you know if this
point of
part is what you're doing is right.
there's no such thing as
You're
what
right
I'm
and wrong.
doing
Yeah,
is
yes,
right
right. Yeah, of
in
course.
music,
Yeah, yeah.
because um
But
music
you
is
have that
always
gut feeling that
subjective.
you feel like if you put this এটা এভাবে করলে you have this thing যে এটা এভাবে করলে better and then the
Yeah, I used to think like that.
yeah,
And I'm a sort of a control freak when it comes to these things, right?
yeah.
But I've learned to let loose, and I've learned to be more open to experiments. So when someone tells me that, hey, try this, maybe this would sound better, I'm always open to it.
I would love to watch you front a punk rock band. A
Oh yeah,
literal
I
a
mean,
literal punk rock band. I would love to watch Pragata Naoha scream the fuck out in a punk band. You know?
yeah, I mean, there have been shows. Hades has done shows like that where we went all out
Uh,
and everything. So if only you had just seen that.
yeah, man. A lot. The the kind of music that you do,
Yeah.
যতগুলাই গান তোমার বের হইছে, do you think that all the songs that you do সবগুলাকে একটা single category তে ফেলা যাবে অথবা this genre that this is the genre that you this is your comfort zone and you do not want to get out of this? Do you think this
Um.
is this is something that you face?
No, I don't.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't.
if you were to sing in a, I mean, if you were to sing, suppose actor funky, actor disco, actor
Hmm.
track, would you be okay with singing? in that, or you'd rather go sing someone who just made a কি বলবো indie, that indie sound যেটা একটা ওইটা ওরকম একটা acoustic দিয়ে ওরকম, would you rather
Right.
go for that?
Right. No, I really like to push myself when it comes to, genre bending and everything because I don't want to be stuck in one genre.
Yeah,
And I think I'm quite capable of writing in any genre
yeah,
or so yeah, I never faced that issue. In fact, I want to see how I do in every other genre, right?
yeah.
Because restricting yourself into
I'd,
just
I'd
one
love to hear
tiny
you. I'd
box.
love to hear you sing a funk rock song, man. Man,
Oh yeah,
this is
dude.
this is me being a fan, and I'd love to hear you. There's two things that I'd love to hear from you: a punk rock song and a funk and a very funky, 80s Italian disco type song.
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah.
man, আমি চিন্তা করি যে how your vocals would go with that.
Right. I mean, I do want to write among that line. Thing is, I'm such a young artist,
Yeah,
not in terms of age, but in terms of producing
yeah,
content. I'm so young
yeah.
that I'm just honestly trying out everything that I possibly can right now. Some things might not turn out good. Some things might be amazing, right? So that's why I just have to keep trying. So of course, I would love to. I always love to branch out.
Do you think when you're writing a song and the song doesn't come, man, it doesn't turn out to be this kind of song that you wanted it to be in the first place? Do you think it gets frustrating for you? যে আমি এরকম চাচ্ছিলাম এই সাউন্ডটা এরকম করে হচ্ছে না, and then you stop doing something. How do you like uh, recover from that
Right.
as a songwriter?
Usually, well, I just try to sing that part over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And I play that progression over and over again until something
So,
clearer comes into
so
my
you
mind.
barely throw away songs.
Uh that if you asked me that just 6 months ago,
Yeah,
that would be true. That would be very correct.
yeah,
But within these 6 months, I think I've just, um, recorded 30-second licks or intros and
yeah, yeah,
verses, and I've
uh,
just left them behind.
yeah,
That is something that I've never done before
yeah.
because uh, before when I used to sit with the guitar and I had the mindset of writing a song,
Finishing the song.
yeah, I would not get up even if it took me like hours
Yeah.
before I just, finished the song, recorded it, and then, carried on.
Now
But
you're just, if it's not
now
happening, it's not happening.
it's not that. It's more like if I have an idea, I record it chate chate so that I don't forget it. But I rarely come back to those ideas, right? It's when I'm desperate when
Yeah,
I come back.
yeah. So like মানে ফার্স্টে আমি যেটা বলছি, সিন্স যেটা জেন্ডারের কথা বলছিলাম, যে there are a lot of dudes around in the scene, because there are a lot of
Yeah.
guys around in the scene, and since you being one of the very few, another one is Anika, is amazing
Anika
singer,
Rashid Khan, yes.
amazing singer. Then there is Sarah Zaman, who is currently in
Yeah.
Australia. Love them. um uh, there are only a few guys, only a few guys, and there has been quite a lot of attention তোমাদের উপরে, because
Hmm.
you how do you personally handle that,
Attention as in,
as in from the fans and from everyone, যেভাবে
right.
মানে তোমাকে, because a Pragata Naoha show, a lot of people will now go to, if 5 or 6 years back, like you said, যে তুমি যখন start
Yeah.
5 years 6 years back, when একটা বিলে যদি কেউ Pragata Naoha দেখতো, people might not know who she is. এখন
Yeah.
if someone sees Pragata Naoha is on the bill, a person might buy the ticket and go and buy
Oh
the
yeah, yeah. That
show.
is
So how do you like, and then you get the attention, Jay. This she's someone who's doing it all by herself,
right.
as as well, from not only from the fans, from the musicians as well, from the musicians around you.
The
How do you
industry, right.
industry? How do you deal with that?
Well, I guess I have a few things to say about this.
Yeah,
Firstly, the main I mean the majority of my audience actually doesn't know that I I write myself or
yeah,
that I compose myself,
yeah,
and I don't think. anyone other than,
So anyone
people who
who's
are close.
listening to this, Pragata writes her own songs and she does it all by herself.
Yeah. Other than people who are close to me and
Yeah,
one or two people from the industry,
yeah,
literally no one else knows that I produce my own songs either.
yeah.
So that's just that's I mean, I don't think that's something that I necessarily need to put out, right? But there's this older sister of mine, Tashpiapu, right?
Mhm.
She keeps telling me that um, what I'm doing right now as a 21-year-old
Yeah,
girl in this
yeah,
industry, I am literally the only person in this entire industry who's doing this and getting so much attention for
yeah.
it.
And
So
you're
if I
killing
were
it, and you
you,
deserve it, and I
yeah,
think you deserve it.
yeah, thank you. I'm not too sure about that, but thank you.
I,
So she keeps saying that if
yeah,
I were you, I would 100% let everyone know that
yeah.
I'm
True
doing this
that. True.
myself.
If I were you, I'm China. I would have. I'm pagal ho jaitam firstly because of all the attention. Firstly, and I would do crazy stuff, and then people. I think people then would start hating me because I do a lot of crazy stuff,
Crazy stuff.
and then people would eventually start hating me. I think that would have happened if I was in
So
your.
basically, the Britney Spears phenomenon.
Yeah, yeah, phenomenon. Irkomi, something like that would have happened if I was you. But you being able to handle this at such a young age is really commendable. This is really good.
Thank you, thank you. It's not really
Hard as I think it
as
is.
intense. No, it's not as intense as you think it is. It's
Oh,
not like every day there's some you know there's some group of people who just
yeah.
show up to me and just like bust it out and go like, "Oh my god, I'm so
Mm.
it's wild that I'm seeing you right now," or stuff like that. No,
Yeah.
no, it's all very contained, you know.
Do you think it is also because you are very friendly with everyone and very open to everyone's যে সবাই it's not that much when
Um,
we see when we see someone like এখন যদি আমি রাস্তায় if I see a rock star like for example if I see James on the street
James, yeah,
I'm gonna go gaga over him.
yeah,
So do you think, and because he has that attitude, Jay, you think twice to approach someone like him to even talk to him? ঠিক আছে, do you
right.
think you being friendly and this affects your presence in the scene?
Um,
আমি
well,
তোমার একটা ভিডিওতে আমি দেখছি ওর কি sad in the neighbor girl. So do you think this is the way you want to portray yourself in the scene?
uh, absolutely not. I don't want to be the girl, that keeps that is known for just writing sad songs and everything. Because
Yeah,
obviously I want to be diverse,
of course.
but that is going to show through my work, of
Yeah,
course, right? So that's what I'm waiting for. But the part about being friendly and everything, I think people have the wrong um impression of
yeah,
me
that you are
because
friendly.
no, 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 I am
No,
friendly. that's
yeah, yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing. I
Uh-huh.
100%
Uh,
love to talk to people. I love to talk to my audience that has listened to my music. I would love to actually just hang out with them even, right? But first off, when people who don't personally know me, people who aren't even who don't have mutuals with me or everything, they meet me and they want to talk to me, and uh, they see how I am, they see that I'm like extra friendly and everything, and they
yeah,
just
yeah,
instantly go like, "Hey, I didn't expect you to be like this. I thought you were gonna be
yeah.
really headstrong and everything." And I'm like, okay, I
Okay,
get
but I'm
that.
not.
it's
But
because i it's because I try my best to look intimidating,
yeah,
right? That is my aesthetic after
yeah,
all, right?
yeah,
i
yeah,
i am still a very alternative person at
yeah,
heart.
yeah.
um but yeah, I love presenting myself as a contradiction, as a paradox, because I just think it's fun to see people's reactions when they see that I'm actually a very jolly,
Jolly
friendly
person,
person.
friendly
Yeah,
person, and not the ones that you মানে যেটা online presence দেখা যায় the photos and all
yeah,
you post.
absolutely, because
You're not
that's
you're not that scary.
Yeah, I mean, I am actually,
Mm.
I am that scary, but I'm not that scary
Yeah,
as long as you're nice to me.
yeah. So if a new artist, so this is what I think আমাকে and this is something that a lot of people have asked me তোমাকে
Yeah,
ask করার জন্য যে
yeah.
I know a lot of producers and me
Mm,
being me Amio I have started I just released my first song that I produced with this project called Gammo. I think you
right.
haven't listened.
I saw. Yes, I have this
Okay,
too. Congratulations, finally.
okay. So like this is the first song that I produced, and I'm producing songs for quite a few artists right now.
Yeah,
So I know a few producers that I've been sharing ideas with and have made friends with, and they have because আমি কারোর সাথে podcast করলে I go and ask around people যারা relevant যে what should I ask them? Do you have any question that you think I should ask them? So they have this question for you
mm,
for them to do a song with you, to collab,
right.
to do a song with you on their beats, on their song or your studio or in any way, or write lyrics for you or do this for you. How does
Mm.
one approach Pragata Naoha if one wants to work with you?
Oh, well, I have a page in case
Yeah,
um, people who aren't aware. You can just knock me on my page. You could knock me on my personal Facebook account. Literally any social media platform that I have, I try to be as responsive
just
as
not with
possible.
me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
No, no,
fine.
no, no. I mean, right now, I'm not responsive at all to anyone, right?
I
I
know, I know.
barely.
You've been going through
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
going through a lot of shit. I know.
But yeah. But usually that's how it works. You contact me on my social media
So
platforms,
it's
and
not
I will reply.
impossible. It's not impossible to get a hold of Pragata Naoha.
Absolutely not.
So
If
okay,
I'm busy, what's gonna happen is I'm going to reply to you as soon as I can, and
yeah,
I'm going to tell you that hey, I can't collab because I'm doing a lot right now. That's usually how what happens.
yeah,
But if I'm not,
yeah.
then collab's gonna
No,
happen.
because a lot of a lot of people have asked because যেটা আমি বলতেছিলাম যে I go around asking a lot of people যে কি কোনটা কি ask করলে okay, do you what answers do you want from this person? So this one thing that a lot of people want to work with you. Then
Yeah,
let me be very honest. A lot of people want to do work with you. So
I'm
that is the
flattered.
big question. That is this big question that a lot of people do. What do we do to work with her? So now you have the answer. You just it's very simple.
It's very simple.
It's
Yeah.
very simple. Just knock her on Facebook, on Instagram. যেখানে, okay, you see Pragata Naoha, you just knock her, talk to her, work it out. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, and then I'm sorry for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
with this, we are quite at the end of the podcast. Any new,
Oh, sorry.
anything that you want to say to the new artists that are currently starting out and see yourself? You have come to a point when you yourself are an inspiration to a lot of girls.
Yeah, that's crazy when you
Yes,
think about it.
you are an inspiration to a lot of artists. So do you what suggestions or what mistakes you think যে তুমি করছো and it should have been avoided, one shouldn't do? What advice do you think the new artists should, and what should they keep in mind?
Right. I I mean, if you're young or if you were as young as me when I started out,
Yeah,
just don't care about your mistakes. Of
yeah,
course, a few years later you're going to really cringe at them, but
yeah,
it's because of the mistakes that you make that you understand not to do it again because you won't make the same mistakes as I made, right?
yeah.
I know I said a lot of stupid stuff on air, off air, on stage, right?
So
Stuff
did
like
I.
that
So
happens,
did I.
right? I mean,
It's okay.
exactly. It just happens,
Yeah, it just
right? You can't
happens.
stop them.
Yeah,
Just don't dwell on your mistakes.
yeah.
Learn to be your own critic first before you let everyone else judge you. Practice every day and just, don't have a very, how do I say this? Just don't think that you're the shit
Oh,
already.
all right.
Just never think that. Just never, right?
Do you think this puts a lot of pressure in you? You people seeing you as an inspiration for the younger generation right now sees you as an inspiration. Do you think that puts an
It
extra pressure in you while you are creating your content?
it doesn't. It doesn't put any pressure on me at all because I
or your
I'm
presence
aware.
in, or your online presence or যেকোনো জায়গাতে তোমার presence,
Right.
do you feel like you get influenced by the fact that a lot of people are gonna get influenced by what you do,
By
are
me.
try to uh,
Right.
replicate you in one way or the other? Do you feel like
Right. Right.
you have this responsibility towards others?
Responsibility wise, I do believe that my morals are very strong.
Yeah,
So in that way, I won't be projecting anything wrong on the internet. But since this is Bangladesh, right, and I realize that I'm getting some attention, right, I unfortunately it has backfired on me because now I'm very careful of what I post.
yeah,
Vulgarity wise
yeah,
on the
yeah,
internet,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because my aesthetic is very Western and it's
yeah,
very out there. So I don't want to, you know, get some negative attention from unwanted people who would, circulate my photos and
yeah,
everything,
yeah,
right?
and make
So
a fuss
that's
about it.
and make a fuss about it. Exactly. That is one thing that I am so, so, so afraid of because the mass people here in Bangladesh, right?
Yeah,
They don't even understand alt culture or goth culture,
yeah,
right? Not that I'm labeling myself as a member, but I
yeah, I
want to
get it.
be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, of course.
And I want to wear, really dark, Marilyn Manson stuff, but
Yeah,
I can't,
yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah,
right? So it's that thing. And the days that I do feel like dressing up like that or saying something like that or writing music like that, right? I am just kind of afraid of the response that I'll get because most people will just be like, "Oh, this is so dark. This is so gory. I don't like it. Bring back stuff like Kalo and stuff," right?
yeah. Do you feel
That's
like
one thing.
because of Kalo, people have started to like stereotype you যে you are তুমি এখন থেকে এই টাইপের গানই করবা?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I already thought this through the second I was writing, the second I was making Bedroom with Hades, because everyone I know,
Mm,
I mean, there's gonna be a big chunk of people who are gonna be like, why are there so many hardcore electric guitars in this song? I
yeah,
don't like it.
yeah,
Bring back the indie songs,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, and I realized that there's no point paying attention to all of this because music, again, is subjective, right?
yeah.
You either like my stuff or you don't.
You
And
don't.
I'm completely fine with the people who don't like my stuff.
Yeah,
So that's just it. You just have to accept it, right?
yeah. So we have already asked you, যে তোমার what new projects, what new content you are putting out. You're putting out. You're working on an EP. Are we getting the EP this year or the year or the next year?
Yes,
This
this
year,
year,
hopefully.
if
All
everything
right,
goes
awesome.
well this year.
All right. So, all right, man. So this is. Thank you for coming to the show. It's
Yeah,
been
thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm
no,
so
man.
glad we
It's
finally did this.
yeah, same, man. And it's been. I mean, first I thought whether you would agree to do this, but thank you for agreeing to do. Mane,
Of course.
it means a lot to me. So thank you for coming.
Of course, man. I
And
told you I love podcasts.
yeah, same, man. Same here. So yeah, with this, I'm ending this episode. This is Ruslan signing out from the Snotbear podcast, and wait for the next episode. Thank you.